Okay. Yeah, I will ask colleague IT if they can start the recording of the session. I don't know whether it's the case. Okay. Colleague, can you hear me? Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Kamewit Safak. I'm financial sector advisor within the Secretariat of Making Finance Work for Africa. And it is our distinct pleasure really to host this webinar in collaboration with the chief the compliance officer forum of Java member state, the MANSA initiative, which is a developmental initiative, one of the flagship initiatives of the AFREXIMBANK. So the topic of this presentation is the MANSA platform, Africa Customer Due Diligence Platform, Passport to Trade and Investment. Some of you, I don't know, some of you may have heard about the MANSA initiative, which is actually a Pan-African centralized due diligence platform which aims to really operate as a central hub of information on African corporate to collect and gather key information that are necessary to conduct due diligence on African counterparty. The initiative aims really to enhance transparency in the African market and also facilitate financial sector operation and trade finance operation in particular. So we commend AFREXIMBANK for this initiative, which also work along other initiatives that the bank has launched, which are already operational and support all the agenda of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. I will name here, for instance, the Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems, or the initiative like the ETG Connect. We are here with Mrs. Vania Alexandre Cornel da Rosa, which is the chairperson of the Compliance Officer Forum of Java member state. She will give some opening remark and present the association before we move properly into the webinar. Mr. Vania, you have the floor. Hello? Ms. Vania?
Yes. Thank you, Eugis. Let me switch to Portuguese. Bom dia a todos os participantes. É com enorme prazer que procedo à abertura deste webinar promovido pelo Making Finance Work for Africa, AFREXIMBANK e o Fórum de Oficiais de Conformidade dos Estados-membros do GIABA, sob o lema A Plataforma MANSA, Plataforma Africana de Devida Diligência ao Cliente, o passaporte para o comércio e investimento. Como sabem, as transações comerciais podem ser exploradas para a prática dos crimes da lavagem de capitais, financiamento de terrorismo e um dos principais pilares do framework de prevenção é o dever de conhecermos os nossos clientes e as nossas contrapartes nos negócios. E o que para o contexto africano é um grande desafio. Portanto, temos vários constrangimentos enquanto compliance officers na recolha da informação pertinente para a condução das diligências que devemos, que permitem conhecer o cliente ou a contraparte, e é nesse contexto, para além dos custos, portanto, há falta de informações sobre as entidades africanas, há repositórios de outras paragens, mas com pouca informação relativamente às entidades africanas, os custos são elevados e isso tudo faz com que as entidades sediadas no nosso continente sejam percebidas como tendo um risco elevado. Portanto, e é nesse contexto e que o AFREXIMBANK apresentou a plataforma MANSA como uma solução para os vários desafios que nós enfrentamos no nosso dia a dia, no que diz respeito à condução das diligências que são diligências que são mandatórias e que muitas vezes, por esta falta de informação, instituições de outras paragens preferem não aceitar o risco, portanto, que nos leva ao conhecido fenómeno do de-risking. Portanto, a plataforma MANSA é o nosso aliado e devemos aproveitar este webinar para inteirarmos-nos dos benefícios que a plataforma pode trazer para as nossas organizações e para os nossos negócios e vamos então perceber agora efetivamente como é que a plataforma MANSA pode ser o passaporte para o comércio e o investimento. Com isto, espero que regressem às vossas instituições e possam então divulgar os benefícios que a plataforma pode trazer às nossas organizações e que serão aqui apresentados ao longo desta sessão. Desejo a todos votos de um bom webinar, coloquem as vossas questões, esclareçam as vossas dúvidas e vamos todos aderir e divulgar a plataforma MANSA como o nosso aliado. Sr. Hughes, muito obrigada por esta oportunidade, declaro a sessão aberta e devolvo devolvo-lhe a palavra. Obrigada a todos.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Vanya, for your kind word of introductions. You set well the context as a professional in this sector. I will now move to share with you the session outline, as you will see here on the screen. So we have completed the introduction. We then move to the presentation of the MANSA platform itself. Its principle we give up to 40 minutes. So maybe the presentation will run up to 10 to maybe 12, I think, if it's West Africa time. Anyway, 40 minutes. With the presenter, Mr. Oguna and Mr. Stefan Kwasi. We then have the Q&A sessions, and then we'll have the closing or the wrap-up of the session. In terms of the web, yes, I'll now share, before we move properly to the introduction, just share the rule of the webinar, which are very simply for those who usually participate to this or to webinars series. The duration is 90 minutes, as you will see, including the Q&A. You have all the microphones muted for the participant, but you can submit your questions through the Q&A box that appear below, or you can raise your hand. Exceptionally, we can consider, but I don't think I'm seeing 2 hands that are raised, but I don't think we can allow that for the moment. But exceptionally, we can disable microphone to allow people to speak. You have simultaneous translation in 3 languages, English, French, and Portuguese. The slide and the recording will be available within maximum 72 hours, so meaning 3 days after this webinar, and we'll also avail them on the Making Finance Work for Africa website. Probably we'll look with COFGMS if they can also post the recording on their website. and MANSA platform, MANSA as well. You can send a message to the organizer if you encounter any technical problem, and don't forget to fill out the questionnaire that will appear at the end of these sessions. Our presenters today are two very experienced professionals from the MANSA initiative. They have long experience in the banking industry before joining the MANSA team. And as you can see, we also respect the gender balance. We have Mrs. Ogona Wanko, which brings a wealth of knowledge in compliance. She has a master degree in accounting, and she was a fellow of the Association of Charter Certified Account. She is now the Business Development Associate in the MANSA initiative and managing particular West Africa Anglophone for the initiative. I think she joined the initiative about 2 years ago. Stefan Kwasi, it's also who is based in, I think, Ivory Coast, is an MBA professional with, she graduated from the University of Kenway State in US. She's associate covering the West Africa Francophone in the initiative. I think she has more than 15 years of experience in the banking industry. They have an opportunity to introduce themselves as part of the presentation. I will now hand over the floor to our presenter, maybe for the interest of to allow a smooth unfolding of the event. They will be allowed to share their own screen and run the presentation from their end. You have the floor, Ugana and Stefan. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ugo. Hello, everyone. My name is Stefan. I work at the AFREXIMBANK in the MANSA initiative, where I'm covering the Francophone regions for West Africa, Central Africa, and also part of Indians region. So I will let my colleague, she's here today with us, Ugana, present herself as well.
Thank you, Stefan. Hello, everyone. My name is Ugona Wanko, and I work with the MANSA Digital Initiative, covering Anglophone West African countries. Presently, I sit at the Abuja Regional Office. Thank you for making our time to join this webinar. I think in the interest of time, we'll just move straight to the business of the day.
You can put up the presentation.
Yes,
share
please.
your screen.
Okay, yes, so we're going to be speaking about the MANSA Digital Initiative and what's in it for you. We'll just run through the slides. Some of you might have heard about the MANSA Digital Initiative, and some might have not heard about it. So it will be important for us to go through what MANSA is about and how it came about. So MANSA is one of the digital tools that have been created by AFREXIMBANK to ensure that Africans trade amongst themselves, to ensure that we have a platform that serves as a one-stop shop for information for all African entities. And this initiative was set up based on the issues, challenges that were identified by AFREXIMBANK. And this initiative was basically set up to address the challenges that were posed as a result of the withdrawal of international banks from the African trade finance landscape and the de-risking that happened. And so brief background, it was officially launched in 2018, but operationally, we opened our doors to entities, began to onboard entities in 2020 at the peak of the pandemic. About MANSA, you might want to know how MANSA derived its name. MANSA derived its name from Mansa Musa, who was the 10th emperor of the Malian Empire. He's accredited to placing Africa on the world map. Story has it that he traveled to Mecca with gold, and on his way back, he ran out of cash, and he began to exchange gold for money. For us in MANSA, we think information is gold, and that's how we have come up with our name, MANSA, because the data on the platform for us, we look at it as gold.
if you like to trade amongst yourselves, you need information. So yes, that's how we derived our name, MANSA. And the objectives of the MANSA Digital Initiative is basically to increase trade promotion. Many African entities produce goods, they consume goods, they have the capacity to produce, but there is lack of information about where they can sell those products to. So part of what the MANSA Digital Initiative does is to create that opportunity for African entities to begin to trade amongst themselves. The platform also reduces compliance costs, where if you have your KYC information on the platform and ensure it's up to date, you can always refer to your investors or to your business partners that you're MANSA-verified, and the information can be readily available from the MANSA platform. MANSA also helps to fight anti-money laundering and terrorist financing, because we ensure that the entities that we onboard on our platform are compliant. The platform provides due diligence information for African counterparts. At the moment, we're focused on purely African entities because this platform was set up based on the issues that African entities face. And so the entities that you see on the platform, onboarded on the platform, are purely African entities. MANSA also encourages and promotes good corporate governance culture among the entities we operate. Most times when we try to onboard SMEs or some corporate entities, we find out that some of them don't even have financials. They don't even know what an audited financial statement looks like. And so part of what we do in MANSA is sensitization, awareness, capacity building, where we begin to speak to these entities to demonstrate to them what this information is, how they can be investment ready, how they can present themselves to be able to be bankable. And so that's what part of what MANSA does. There are three key pillars on MANSA. The first pillar speaks to customer due diligence, like I mentioned. The platform enables you to visit the platform, conduct KYC on your African entities. It provides information that are captured, and it enables you to conduct due diligence there. The second pillar speaks to invest in Africa. That gives you opportunity to have primary relevant information for potential investors. There are different African entities, and so on the platform we have different maps. And so if you're looking to where to invest, you visit a country, and the platform will provide you with investment opportunities in that country. The last pillar speaks to news and events. In this pillar, we keep you updated with relevant information in Africa's compliance space. There are things that change, there are information that come up on a daily basis. So the platform enables you to be up to date with this information. Okay, the MANSA platform is the hope for Africa because the services that we provide cuts across financial institutions, corporates and SMEs and investors, customers. You have SMEs that you want to give loans to. You have corporates that want to take loans from the bank, different kinds of users. But for financial institutions, which we classify as banks, pension fund institutions, insurance companies, this platform enables you to profile your customers. It enables you to onboard your customers on the platform, which makes it cheaper for your customers to maintain their KYC information. The initial review is done on the platform, and because it's a KYC platform, on the minimum on a yearly basis, these profiles are updated. So you have periodic reviews on the platform, and at every point in time as a financial institution, you have up-to-date information about your customers. For financial institutions as well, we offer PEP searches. We have sanctions and adverse media screenings that are done on the platform. For corporates as well, corporates and SMEs that would like to trade amongst themselves, this platform enables you to do that. While we onboard entities on the platform, we categorize them based on countries, based on business environments or kinds of products or services that they offer. So part of the function of the platform is to enable you search per country. And so for corporates and for SMEs that are into business or into trade, you'd like to know where to get your raw materials or markets where you can sell your products. The platform enables you to do that search. And then for investors as well, there are investors which are made up of both African and non-African individuals or entities that want to invest in Africa. Like I mentioned, a pillar speaks to invest in Africa, where it provides investment opportunities in Africa. And so for investors, they're able to use the platform to identify areas where they can invest and access to investment promotion agencies in Africa. Okay, the MANSA onboarding process, it's actually in 3 steps. This is originated from the contributors. We refer to the contributors as entities who voluntarily onboard their information on the MANSA platform. And we have a minimum of 2 users. The first user speaks to the maker. The maker is responsible for uploading the KYC information of the company on the platform. It's a digitized platform where at the comfort of your home or your office, you can sign up and onboard your entity. And so we have the maker who uploads this information, and then we have the checker, who is also a staff of the entity, who reviews the information that has been uploaded by the maker, just to check that the information uploaded is accurate. And then once this is submitted, it goes to the verifier. We have the verifiers as specialized institutions that we partner with to ensure that the information onboarded on the platform is accurate. These specialized institutions could be licensed by the government. So for example, for financial institutions, we work with the central banks, where when we onboard banks on the platform, these profiles go to the central banks. They verify that the information is accurate, and before it comes to AFREXIMBANK. We just put this layer of check to ensure that the information that we provide on the platform has gone through different layers of checks and it's accurate for subscribers. The next step is, once this is approved, it comes to AFREXIMBANK, where we do another layer of check to ensure that there's no human error, there are no mistakes on the profile, and then it's published. Once it's published on the platform, your profile becomes visible to users of the platform, and that is the category that we refer to as subscribers. Subscribers pay a fee and visit the platform to be able to consume the information that has been published on the platform. So once you go through these 3 steps and your profile is published, then subscribers are able to view your profile. You become visible. And this is just what an Outlook looks like. The 6 classes of information that is captured on the platform, you're able to either download them, which includes support documents like certificates of registration, your financials, your shareholding. You could also view by clicking on the plus sign, and it opens that up. So the platform enables you to either download or view the information onboarded on the platform. Okay, I mentioned that there are 6 classes of information that we capture. While some are compulsory for financial institutions, we understand that the corporates or the SMEs might not be able to afford them. We might not be able to go through all of them here because the slides will be sent to you. But just to mention that we have standardized templates we use to capture this information, but we have made provisions for flexibility because, for example, the SMEs might not be able to afford an annual report. They might not even know what an annual report is, so we don't expect them to upload an annual report. But for the banks, we know that this is part of the requirements of operating, that they should publish their accounts, and so we expect that they are able to provide this. So what we have here are the information that we capture, and the split between the FIs, the corporates, and the SMEs, what is optional and what is mandatory. But at the minimum, we want to know that you are a registered company, you're registered in the jurisdiction you operate. So we expect that all entities, regardless of the kind of entity you are, you're able to provide your company registration to show that you're legally registered. Subscription, like I mentioned, that once information is published on the platform, subscribers can visit the platform and consume the information, conduct due diligence, KYC, do searches on the platform. And so recently, the AFREXIMBANK launched the ATG, which is the Africa Trade Gateway, which is an ecosystem that houses all the digital initiatives of the bank. Just like Hughes mentioned, there's a Pan-African payment and settlement system. which enables you to trade in your local currency. There's the ATEX, there's supply chain functions. And so the ATG houses all these initiatives. And what we've done is to consolidate the subscription for all these digital initiatives. So there's just one subscription. So once you subscribe to the ATG, you would have access to all the digital initiatives in the ecosystem, which includes MANSA. So there are steps here. Once you confirm that you're willing to subscribe, you pay the subscription fees, and you complete the ATG documentation, then an onboarding process would begin where the ATG team will walk you through profiling you for the different initiatives and provide you access. This subscription also enables you to invite and introduce up to 150 of your customers with interest in Africa trade. So for example, a subscribe to the ATG, part of what comes with it, customers to come and participate have made. They're able to trade on the platform as well. From the platform, MANSA Digital Initiatives also provides other services to our users. The first is anti-money laundering or countering finance, fraud and terrorism. And so what we do is to offer you the full scope of KYC. Beyond what is on the platform, what we have on the platform provides information of African entities. You have their KYC uploaded, but this takes it a step further, where we do detailed search, enhanced due diligence on the entities. We screen for politically exposed persons and adverse media. So this is also part of what we do. We manage that function. Next slide. Yes. So we do PEP screening, we do sanction screening, we do adverse media, we do watchlist management, and vessel and aircraft screening. So these are part of the packages that we have on the MANSA platform. Okay. Like I mentioned, the slides will be sent to you, but at the moment, this is what our fees look like. The ATG subscription is for you to have access to, but if you want the managed services, it comes at a different fee because these are specialized services. And this is what we currently have here for the managed services. Okay. Additionally, what we also do, we do white labeling, and this model allows us to establish partnerships with non-African entities that are looking to sell their African products. So we have entities in diaspora that want to sell African products, and so we also help to facilitate that, because we understand that some SMEs might have challenges having access to markets where they can sell their products. And so in diaspora that want to sell African products, but we have African entities that have products and looking for markets to sell their products. So we come in and we bridge that gap to ensure that these African products are sold using their own labels. We also have the MANSA curriculum that empowers our contributors, the entities that we onboard on the platform, and other stakeholders by offering capacity building programs and training opportunities. We understand that some challenges that SMEs might not be just financing. We understand that some corporates might not need just financing. They might need to strengthen themselves. They might need to get their books in order. They might need to prepare their books in a way that shows that they are bankable. And so we understand that this gap exists. Most times when we have entities come up to us to say they need funds, we do a review and we do a gap analysis and identify that beyond the funds, they also need capacity building to be able to manage the funds that are given to them. So MANSA curriculum is one of the services that we also provide, where we do capacity building programs and trainings. We also have other support services that we provide. We have compliance policy review and drafting for entities that want their policies to be reviewed, their compliance policies to be reviewed, or want to even develop one from scratch we're able to do that. We're able to set up your compliance function. Compliance is key. There's some entities that might have been operating without the compliance department or a compliance function. We're able to come in, do an analysis, and set up one that is suitable just for you. I mentioned capacity building and training. We offer that. We have complete enhanced due diligence suites that we also provide to our users. Okay, you might want to know what MANSA can be used for. If you're to subscribe to MANSA or you want to work with MANSA, how can you use MANSA in your business, in your business as usual activities, in your day-to-day activities in your organization. It could be used for investments. The platform provides you with information about investors, both equity. You can use the platform to identify. Once you onboard on the platform provides visibility for you so that potential investors can reach out to you and even do business with you. The platform also promotes intra and inter-Africa trade. Like I mentioned, you have your goods that you produce or you have the services that you provide, and you onboard on the platform. That's visibility for you. It enables you know who your next door neighbors are. When you search on the platform, as of today, we have over 21,000 profiles on the platform. You'll be shocked as to where you can get different products that you've been sourcing from a long distance place. So we have next door neighbors across Africa. We don't know what they produce, we don't know what they have, but the platform enables you to have that information. For institutions also seeking access to a wide number of suppliers across Africa, you can onboard on the platform, use the search buttons, you find out where you can get different raw materials and different products. You could also use it to access your CDD data about African entities. So for example, you have someone you're trying to do business with, you're not sure if the person is genuine. We have that perception of risk of doing business in Africa. So you can conduct your due diligence on the platform, search out the entity, find out if they exist and how they operate and what their details are. Gives you a level of comfort and reduces that perception of risk of doing business in Africa. We have clients everywhere, entities. We have non-African entities that are subscribers that use the platform. Okay, MANSA's role in promoting trade. Excuse me. Yeah, so we understand that all hands should be on deck in terms of promoting trade under the AfCFTA. And so MANSA is strategically positioned to do this as well. Excuse me. And so I mentioned the role we play with the banks, with the corporates and the SMEs. And yeah, so we're just going to be taking a look at some of the roles that MANSA plays. Please, can you still see my screen?
Yes, go. We see your screen.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have smooth onboarding of customers because we want to ensure that African entities trade amongst themselves. We onboard customers on the platform, create that visibility for them, showcase the businesses that they have. We also conduct initial and periodic reviews. I mentioned this earlier, ensuring that profiles that we publish on the platform are up to date. For example, you want to conduct due diligence on an entity, you visit the platform and you ensure that there's confidence that the information that you're getting from the platform is up to date, it's not outdated. We also have the trade counterparty due diligence, where you can conduct these due diligence activities on these entities. So MANSA is strategically positioned to support what AfCFTA is doing. And we also target large entities, membership organizations, entities that have umbrella bodies that have associations and memberships under them. It's easy for us to reach out to these entities and onboard them. For investors as well, we expect that investors from diaspora should also come and visit the platform, find out what African entities are doing, and invest in them. So that visibility is what MANSA provides for the entities that are on board on the platform. Okay, so this is just an addition of the services that MANSA provides. On the platform, we have a country listing. I mentioned this. You're able to search for investment opportunities in different countries, as well as where to source products or services on the platform. For example, you could filter Nigeria, and it shows you all the entities in Nigeria that are onboarded on the platform and what they do. It helps you streamline your search. For example, you're looking for investments in agro in Ghana, you're able to use that function of search to search and streamline your search. Linkages are provided across different countries. We want us to begin to trade amongst ourselves. And for us to do that, we should be able to know where to get products or services. We should be able to showcase what we do so that we're visible. And so that linkage is what MANSA brings to the table. We facilitate those linkages among different countries so that we can begin to trade amongst ourselves. As of today, we have over 21,000 profiles onboarded, and onboarding is still ongoing. Our target is to reach as many African entities as possible, bring them on board so that we'll have one-stop shop that speaks to what we do. And this number is made up of both financial institutions, corporates, and SMEs. We can see here that the SMEs are taking the lead with over 17,000 profiles, because we know that the SMEs are the drivers of the economy. There are a lot, and so we're not leaving them out, and we're bringing all into the table. We have central banks that we partner with. I mentioned verifiers, who are centralized, specialized institutions licensed to operate as bodies that provide guidance or support to entities. And so we have signed verifier charters with 13 central banks as at today, and we have 9 in the pipeline we're speaking to, and our target is to bring all central banks on board to come in as verifiers to support the onboarding of 97 current active subscribers. And these subscribers are users of the information that has been published on the platform. I mentioned that if you come in as a subscriber, you're able to view the KYC information of entities onboarded on the platform, conduct your due diligence there, find out how to get different products, investment opportunities in Africa. And so at the moment, we have over 97 of them, and we have others in the pipeline that we're speaking to, which are above 100. And the essence of this is for us to create that publicity for entities to know that the MANSA Digital Initiative is a place where you can come and conduct your due diligence activities. So we're speaking to about 100 of them across Africa. And then we have agents. These agents are entities that we partner with to ensure that we have a wider reach of entities onboarded on the platform. Okay, so we have some recent milestones that we have achieved here. Recently, we migrated to an optimized platform. So the platform now is optimized. We have over 90 subscribers on the platform. We have just completed our ISO certification for 4 standards to ensure that we comply with data privacy policies, and we're compliant with based on the information that we capture on the platform. So rest assured that we are compliant with ISO. We have 4 standards that we just completed and we're certified. So we ensure that the information we capture on the platform are guided by these rules and regulations. We don't want information that we capture from entities to be misused. And so we operate around these ISOs to ensure that the data is safe and is accessible to only those that should have them. Okay, these are just some of our milestones, which we're going to be sharing with you on the slides. We can look at them. So straight to MANSA's key stakeholders. We have different stakeholders. I mentioned the central banks, but beyond the central banks, we also work with the different specialized institutions that also help to regulate the information that we have on the platform. So these are just some of them. We have some agents we work with. We have some umbrella bodies we work with. We have some export promotion councils that we work with just to ensure that we capture different categories of institutions, both those that are in trade, those in agro, those in different kinds of businesses. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ugo. Uggs, we will revert back to you. If there's any questions about the MANSA platforms, we'll be glad to discuss those. So, Ugg, I'll defer back to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ogona and Stefan, for this very informative presentation on the MANSA initiative. I think you have really showcased it very well. I think you cover most of the, you provided the needed information for the participant actually to reflect on it and raise their questions. I've seen, first of all, I would invite the participant again to submit their questions in the Q&A window that's up here as part of the bottom data below the screen. Please do. I've seen a few hands that were up. I don't know whether it's part of, they were just to ask some questions, or they have concern or they want to ask questions. We could disable the mic, we could enable the microphone so that they could ask the questions, they could speak the microphone. I see 3 hands that were up at the time. Let me check if it's still the case before we move on. The first one was from Mr. Adetola Gino. I don't know whether it's the case. I would allow him to speak and give just maybe 30 seconds. He tried to be brief. Hello? Is Mr. Adetola Jimo connected? Okay. Let me try Mr. Pattison. Is Mr. Pattison also, he want to speak?
Thank you for recognizing me here. Thank you, Hook, for this wonderful engagement and webinar that we have made available to compliance professionals and institutions globally. Personally, sorry, can you hear me now?
You are breaking. I don't know why.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear
Mr. Patson,
you now.
I can hear you. Yes,
we can hear you.
I can hear.
Okay. I'm not allowed to share. I'm not allowed to share my video, so you won't see my video. But I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity of being part of this process. And I would like to also thank, in addition to the Making Finance Work for Africa, I'd like to also thank AFREXIMBANK for being here for us. Especially, I'd like to thank GoFem and the president of GoFem, Madam President Vania. And like I said, this is not a new initiative, actually. The MANSA platform has been there for a very long time. But from what I saw from this presentation, clearly you've come a very long way and a lot of innovations have been introduced in here. And I'd like to recommend it for everyone. Personally, myself, as a consultant, I'm going to register with the MANSA platform so that in the whole of Africa, they will also know my company. And those who want to do business with me will also then have the opportunity of checking me out quickly, you know, on the MANSA platform. And I'll also then have the opportunity to also use the platform to do my job as a consultant to carry out due diligence on clients. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and I think I look forward to a lot more compliance professionals in Africa and outside Africa to sign on the MANSA platform. Thank you. Well done to the team.
Thank you, Mr. Pattison. My questions, I'm happy that you are really volunteering to sign up to the platform. Actually, we saw from the figures that there are about 346 financial institutions that have joined the platform already, but it's quite impressive. But it also means that there are some that are left. I know in Africa, only the banks, we have about 100 banks. Certainly, some are affiliated to groups, so probably the numbers might be a bit lower. But having said that, there's still a gap. So maybe this is also an opportunity for some institution really to share with us the reason why they have not yet joined the platform. Is it due to commercial reasons? Is it more regulatory? Because some have mentioned a sometimes regulatory challenge. We saw that not all the central banks have already joined the platform. I mean, I don't know which capacity they could join the platform, but they are not all of them have not signed up. And we know that central bank are the supervisors of the banks. So it would be good for the representative of bank that are on this platform, on this, participating in this meeting, just to share their own view on that, so that we know basically what are the challenges that the MANSA initiative still have to address before having onboarding all the financial institutions, at least the banks on the continent. It's a Pan-African initiative. I've seen that there's another comment. Another hand that was raised. Let me check if that person still want to speak. At the time, it was, I think it was Mr. Adetola Gino. So, Mr. Gino, I will enable your microphone, and I hope you can share your views on the presentation. Please go. Is it working? Let me see. It's quite difficult with Mr. Gino. I don't know why. Maybe in between, I will read some of the questions that are appearing in the Q&A so that the presenter can
you hear me?
address
I'm unmuted now.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay. So I did not actually have a question. It was I think it was a glitch in the system.
Okay. Okay, good. So thank you. So I will read some of the questions that are appearing here in the Q&A window. The first one is from Mr. I'm seeing that Mr. Stefan is trying to respond to it, but maybe for the interest of all, he can respond. So basically from Mr. Anthony Ashebe, which is the over 90 subscriber currently onboarded are those that are pay subscription. You only get onboarded on MANSA. I think this is more of, is it an answer to a question?
I'll be glad
Yes.
to answer that really quick.
Okay.
That's a
Okay.
great
Go
answer,
ahead.
Mr. Anthony. Actually, no. It doesn't mean you need to pay only to be on board on MANSA. To be on MANSA, it's totally free when you are contributors. When you register as a contributors, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. So you can be on board on MANSA. However, when you're looking to have some options that my colleague Hugo has presented, then you have to subscribe. So it's two different things. You could be registered on MANSA as a contributors, which is totally free, and you could be registered in MANSA as a subscribers, which is where you have to make a payment. So it's free to be on board on MANSA. I hope it's answered the questions.
Yes, maybe Stefan, just to bounce on that, could you tell us also how long it takes really to verify the credentials of those who want to onboard to the platform?
Sure. It doesn't take too long at all. As soon as we receive the document that we requested from the entities, we at MANSA, we onboard. It's just a matter of hours, and if not, maybe just 1-2 days. But usually, it's just hours. As soon as we have all the required document, we able to onboard them right away. I don't know if Hugo want to add something to that.
Yes, thank you. I would like to add to that. Like I mentioned during the presentation, it's a digital platform where at the comfort of your home, you could register and go through the onboarding processes, make your uploads and submit to us. Once we receive this, we review it, and it takes less than an hour for us to review that to ensure that all the documents are accurate and we publish. However, we understand that people might have different challenges ranging from internet connectivity, not being familiar with the platform, having challenges with navigating the platform. And so what we have done is to put that information in forms to say, okay, because we understand the challenges of people sitting at their desk and doing this onboarding, can you fill out those forms? What we've done, we've captured the information that is on the platform on forms to say it will be easier for you to fill out those forms, email it to the MANSA team, and we would assist you on board your platform, on board your company, send you your login details, and moving forward, you'd begin to run your profile. So just to answer, once we receive all the relevant information, in less than 24 hours, we onboard your platform, your entity, and publish it on the platform. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Hugo. Maybe next questions that it's from on the Bureau d'Échange. The question is that Bureau d'Échange are gateway to the financial institution. How can our umbrella body AFCON partner with MANSA for our member sensitization and awareness? Very interesting question. It's good to know that they have an association. I don't know whether it's an African or regional, sub-regional body.
I
have the
could
question.
answer that. Yeah, usually what we do, as Hugo mentioned, we work closely with strategic partners. So in case agents or other organizations. So if you have an organization's body umbrella that have members, we could discuss, how those members could be on board, registered on MANSA. So there's always room to discuss if it fits eventually our requirements. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. I think the contact detail of MANSA appear at the end of the presentations. You could send an email after we wind up the meeting, and I'm sure they will answer you. Otherwise, there's always way even now to share your contact details for proper follow-up. I've seen, if I'm correct, that probably Mr. Patterson has raised his hand again. That's what was mentioned, that I will enable him to speak again.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. I just wanted to see if I can add something to the team in MANSA in terms of setting practices in, say, Nigeria, for example, where we have bank verification number, we have the national identity card. I'm sure even in Ghana also the same thing. I think South Africa, Rwanda, and so on and so forth. I don't know if when you show the data that you are collecting, for purposes of the verification of the entities for FIs, for corporates, and for SMEs. For example, you have tax certificate there. You have certificate of incorporation. I don't know if you made it mandatory for the persons giving you the information to provide the specific corporate registration number. Nigeria requires the registration number, ROC number, or the tax identification number. In Nigeria, we call it the TIN, or the bank verification number, which we also have for people who have to open accounts in banks today, and then the national identity number. If you have plans to introduce that as part of mandatory fields, because if you do that, the possibility of in future being able to interact with all the national entities across Africa and to seamlessly, verify information for these persons online by sharing your APIs with these various entities will make it much easier to collect information into your platform, digitally. And I mean, looking into the future, I just felt maybe I should give you that idea if it is something you can explore into the future. Thank you.
Thank you for this contribution, Mr. Patterson. I think the presenter will definitely react to that. You have the floor, Ugo. And
Ugo, want to say something about it?
Okay, yes, thanks, Stefan. Thank you for your contribution. At the moment, what we capture on the platform, I'll start with your certificate of registration. We don't just capture the number. We need a copy of it from CAC, which shows the name of the entity, the registration number, and all those details. So apart from just capturing the registration number, we also request for an attachment, right, to also verify this, which we upload as part of the information we capture on the platform. In terms of ID, we also capture valid identification. But because we are working across all the African countries, we are unable to limit the kind of IDs that we take. While in Nigeria, we might have things like the BVN, which you have mentioned, and the NIN. Ghana might have something different. Cote d'Ivoire might have something different. And so we have tried to provide something that is standard across all countries. And so we say provide a valid means of identification. So it means an identification that is recognized as a legal means of identity in the country you operate in. But yes, we have taken your feedback, and we'll look into it to see how we can make the platform more than what it is now. Thank you.
thank you, Ugo. There's one question here from Mr. Mwazu Umar. I'm seeing that Stefan may respond in writing, but it's actually to read on verification. What are your expectations from verified entity? How comprehensive have you found the process, and what are the main challenges so far? Someone want to take it?
I'll take that. Yes, I'll take that. So in terms of verification, like I mentioned, we work with specialized institutions that regulate these entities. So for example, the central bank regulates the banks, and before we publish this information, we capture these 6 classes of information. So the individual in the central bank, who is our point of contact, reviews the information that has been provided by the banks just to verify if the information is accurate. Things like your board, your regulator will know who your board is, your present board is. So if you provide an information that is not in line with what they have, it will be returned to you to say, can you make this update? So in terms of verification, it's just ensuring that the information that you have provided aligns with the information that is available with your regulators. And in terms of challenges, we haven't noted much challenges. What we note is that because of human error, sometimes the profiles are sent back to the banks to say, can you correct this? And once those corrections are made or those gaps are addressed, they are resent and we publish them. So generally, that's the only feedback we have. But in terms of declining profiles, we haven't seen where a bank has said we can't publish this profile. They come in as to bridge that gap of error so that we ensure that the information that we publish is accurate and aligns with what the regulators have. Thank you.
Thank you. I will.
Thanks a lot, Ugo. I was actually, prior to your answer, I was actually answering the question from the attendee as well. And other challenge, if I may add some, as Ugo says, the challenge that we have sometimes is most SMEs actually operate in informal economy, and we want them to be formal. We want to help them because they're the key of economy, especially here in Africa. So the challenge that we sometimes face is that SMEs that actually operate in informal, they don't have a bank statement, those things, and it is a challenge sometimes. So, which is the reason that sometimes we require the last 2-3 months of the bank informations, bank transfer to see the activity. So those things are actually the challenge sometimes that we have. And also the other challenge is that the information sometimes that they provide doesn't match with what we request. So the delay sometimes it takes to get back to them and to make sure that they provide a proper document. So those are just few minor challenge, but overall we've been going really smooth so far.
Okay, thank you, Stefan. Maybe a quick one also, it's could you just elaborate a little bit on your data protection policy? I mean, your database, sometimes what is an issue that is always come up. You collect the data, and how can you really ensure that the data are properly protected? We know there's a lot of regulation out there on that specific area of data protection.
Yes,
So,
totally. That's a good question. And for that, as Ugo has mentioned, we went through, we actually ISO certified, which showcase our work to protect data and information, and which we're still improving every day on that, and we are having a great feedback with the auditors about those things. So on that one, we totally fine. We have the most up-to-date certification, which showcase that we are strengthened. So I don't know if Ugo want to add something on that.
Yeah, thanks, Stefan. Yeah, I mentioned the 4 ISO standards, which have to do with privacy information and all of that. But we also rely on the data protection policy of AFREXIMBANK because we are hosted by AFREXIMBANK. We have a data privacy policy that we use, that we operate by, and then we do the optimal that we can do. We know that there are hackers everywhere, but we have put optimal measures in place to ensure that the information captured on the platform is safe. Thank you.
okay. Stefan, you mentioned the ISO certifications. It really demonstrates that you try to uphold to really global best practices. Maybe also in terms of your cooperations and effort to really align with global initiative, it might be useful to elaborate a little bit on the link that today exists between the African Entity Identifiers and the legal entity identifier that is promoted by the global legal entity identified foundations and as part of the G20 initiative to really enhance transparency on market. I think it's an initiative that stems from the global financial crisis and effort really to enhance the strength of financial system worldwide. So I don't know whether you can elaborate a little bit on that EI and the connection with the LEI.
Yes, thank you. I'll take that. So for us in MANSA, once we onboard you, we issue your AEI code, which is your African Entity Identifier code, to ensure that to demonstrate that you're MANSA verified. You can quote this code anywhere. And we're currently in conversations with GLEF, which issues the LEI codes. And our partnerships are in the final stages. We have done some testings. And the ultimate aim is for us to also be able to issue these LEI codes as we onboard MANSA. So there's a partnership conversation ongoing where we want to align with what GLEF is doing to leverage on the opportunities to ensure that once we onboard entities, we're also able to issue them the GLEF code as well as the AEI code. That should be completed, I think, by the next quarter, because we are at the final stages. The conversation has come a long way. We've done some testings, we have aligned our processes, and we just want to ensure that we reach a wider range of entities.
Thank you very much. I will now read the next questions from Mr. Tiago dos Santos, which actually, first of all, an appreciation of the work that MANSA is doing and this webinar. Thank you very much. And basically, he's getting familiar to this initiative, and he said that although we're not privileged familiar with the platform, we believe it has the potential to be a crucial tool in promoting both intra-African and global trade as a centralized DD and can significantly enhance business confidence. The questions are, who are the contributors of information to the platform? How does the MANSA platform ensure data security and protect privacy? And what measures are in place to guard against potential data breach? Is there a structured channel through which entity using the MANSA can provide feedback or suggestions for improvement? And how has the platform utilized feedback? I think you have answered some of the questions.
Yes,
so you will take the one that is the one that are left.
Yes, I was about to just say that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tiago. Those are good questions. I think my colleague Ugo has already answered, especially the second questions about data securities. As far as like the first one, who are the contributors of information to the platform? Those are every type of entity. As my colleague says, we work with FI, financial institutions, whether this is a bank, insurance company, microfinances, whether this is large corporate, big company, whether this is SMEs or central bank also. So the contributors are mostly different type of company, as I've mentioned, those that I've listed, mostly FI, large corporation, SMEs. And the third question was, is there a structured channel through which entity using MANSA can provide feedback or suggestions for improvement? That's a great suggestion. At the moment, unless we're I'm mistaken, usually the feedback is just because we have email exchange, the one that was listed on the chat. If there's any suggestions, our entity are free to write to us any type of issues they're dealing with. So yeah, we're gonna do.
Yes, thanks. Yes, thanks, Stefan. Yeah, so we receive feedback from entities, both subscribers and contributors. Now, just to reiterate that our contributors are entities that voluntarily provide their information on the platform and publish it, which is free to do that. And then the subscribers are the users of this information, the entities that consume this information that has been published on the platform, who pay a fee to be able to have access to this KYC information. And we're concerned, not concerned, we're particular about user experiences whether you're a contributor or a subscriber. And so the feedback from our users is very important to us. We have periodic surveys where we send out surveys to our users to find out what their experience has been in using the platform. And then we get feedback. Most times we review this feedback and then we make amends where necessary, just so that our users can be more comfortable, the platform can be more friendly. And that's why recently we migrated to our optimized platform, having identified all the gaps from the feedback that has been provided, and now the system is more optimized. So yes, we take feedback and suggestions for improvements from our users. Thank you.
Thank you. My questions that I do remains. Not all bank has signed up to the platform. Why? I've heard one of the question that were raised before. It mentioned awareness. So we take note that there's need to do more in terms of awareness raising and dissemination of the platform. But other may have other reasons. I think it's an opportunity here to reflect. Tell us exactly, or tell the MANSA team why you are not joining. Is it commercial? Is it regulatory? We spend a lot, our banks and other entities spend a lot in terms of using some of the global platform. They are certainly reliable, but it has taken the similar effort, really, even more, to build those platforms. So we need to be really supportive of this African initiative, as others have said. So do not hesitate to share your views on how to improve the process of onboarding. I mean, rallying more institutions to this initiative. I've seen that one question here, that is, what's the relationship between MANSA and African government? Maybe it really help to provide all the institutional context that you have, the connection with AUs and others. I will let you answer that. Present.
What's the question? Which one is it?
It has disappeared, but it was a question about your relationship with African government.
Oh, okay. I think I was just, yeah, we work we work closely with private and public sectors. So eventually, in our case, we will work with government ministries such as, for example, if I may say, a commercial Ministry of Commercial and Trades, because those have actually bodies that regroup many entities. So we work closely with them. Actually, we have a big project that we actually working at the moment for Côte d'Ivoire, where we'll hold a huge event with public and private stakeholders that will take place in a few months. So we hope we might have some official that will be there. So those are the approach that we have to make sure we keep awareness of our initiative, and because it will lead everyone to be a force to reckon. It will involve everyone, the private sector, public sector, everyone to enforce the benefit of our initiative. So I hope you answer the questions.
Okay, thank you, Stefan. I think you did very well. Let's now move to the next questions. These questions, there are new comments, and there's one that has just, anyway, maybe we move to Mr. Patterson. He said, just to add to my earlier suggestion, the intention is to get to the point where I think this is a comment, where you do not even need to ask for upload of any document, because you are sharing the API with the document issuing authority to verify the online real time. It's helped to improve the digitalization of the MANSA platform. So all you ask for is a unique like TIN, BVN9, and the equivalent around Africa. It will encourage other countries to unify their unique NDIS across Africa, and this one of the this is one of the areas the proposed African Association Compliant Professional will pursue in the future. Okay, he's linking to that initiative that we are pursuing with AFREXIMBANK and, in Making Finance Work for Africa, this compliance professional association. But maybe you want to say something about that, Stefan or Ugo?
About what exactly? Just want to make sure I get the question right. The comments that he mentioned.
Yes,
The
about
comment, it has disappeared also, but it was
yeah, I see. I'll let you go. I think Hugo was actually, if you just answer and
okay.
the suggestion.
Maybe
So
try
Hugo, you
to
wanna?
respond to it for the benefit of participants
Sure.
instead of just answering individually.
Sure. Hugo,
yes,
do you wanna?
yes. Thank you. I'll take that again. I think his suggestion was around having a unique code that we request for rather than uploads, where we can use an API to verify if those documents are accurate from the regulators. And yes, I mentioned that because we have 54 African countries and they have different codes that they use. Some might have, some might not have. And we're trying to unify the information we capture on the platform. Part of the gaps that we identified before MANSA was set up was information asymmetry. Where you have information, you're not able to compare it from one country to another. And so that's why we've come up with a unified template that captures this information so that it's easy for you to review. But yes, we've taken your feedback, and in terms of the next steps regarding digitizing the platform, making it more user friendly based on the trends and all of that, we have taken your feedback where we could do a test run and start from countries that have unique codes that we could use to verify from the regulators. Oh yes, we hear your feedback. Thank you.
I can see there's no more questions left. The one that is here in the Q&A window, it's more, looks to me more a private one, because I think basically it's more personal. He has to follow up with you, Mr. Anthony, follow up with colleague of in MANSA. It's personal collaboration. I think it looks like we have exhausted the questions, unless there is the questions that is left. I'm not seeing on my end. Oh no, how does MANSA accept? No, how does the MANSA concept affect commodity trade exchange in Africa? This is a question from Mr. Josh Ikingwe.
Yes, that's a good question. And if you recall, we say that ATG, it is a marketplace. This is a one-stop shop. So that's a great question. In fact, there's other initiatives such as ATEX and Trader that will deal specifically with matters on commodities. So the ATG, which is the initiative as a whole that we work on, will really help on all the matters related to commodity. So as far as like MANSA, it will strengthen trust between future partners to make sure all the information are accurate and transparent information and enhance business activities in different markets. But also you will have the opportunity, if you subscribe to ATG, to access those other initiatives as well. So it will really be helping the commodity, specifically for ATEX and Trader. Those are the main focus. So it will help. It will definitely help on the commodity matters. I hope it answers your questions.
Okay, thank you, Stefan. I think, well, you have provided a response. They have your contacts. If they want to get more information, they can reach out to you or Mrs. Ugo, to provide, to elaborate more. I think we have exhausted all the questions that were in the either in the chat or the Q&A window. I also think that we have done justice to the presentation. It was a very good showcase of the MANSA platform. In terms of awareness raising, I think we have done very well. Maybe I will just ask my panelists if they have a final word before we wind up the sessions and stay within the time that we have given ourselves. Stefan and Ugo.
Sure. We want to thank, first and foremost, thank you, Make Finance Work for Africa, for allowing us to present our initiative. Thank you, Hughes. Thank you, Madam Vanya. Thank you to the attendee for all the professionals to be there today to listen to the MANSA initiative. We're sure that it will definitely help and enhance business activity in Africa. And we'll be here if there's any questions, any discussions. We have provided our contacts, our email. We'll be glad to make sure we onboard your entities on the platform. So Ugo, if you have any other words.
Thanks, Stefan. Thank you to the organizers of this event. We're grateful for the opportunity to present MANSA. We keep sensitizing people because we know that there are some areas that haven't heard about MANSA. We have some comments on the chat box saying we haven't heard about this before. So it's an opportunity for us to spread the word, let people know about MANSA, let people know about what we do. And we're grateful for this opportunity to do that. And for the participants, thank you for your time. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for engaging us on the chat. Thank you for your questions. And thank you for the feedback, the suggestions. We'll take that and make our work better. And yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. No, on my conclusion, what I would just say is actually to express our appreciation for this collaboration between the MANSA initiative and of course AFREXIMBANK. That is one of the strong partner of Making Finance Work for Africa. The COFGMS, which is, as we mentioned, the forum of compliance professional in the JABA member state. I think it was a very good opportunity actually to really showcase this platform to the member institutions of this platform. We restricted it actually. It was not that we could have had more participation if we opened it, but we want to keep it within that network, and so it can also ease follow up. As you could see, for those who have seen, we had more than 100 and close to 160 participants that were connected from the beginning, and right now we're still having 150, which means that just a few have disconnected, and that is a testimony to the really the pertinence of this topic. If people stay throughout the session, it means that they are really interested. We thank you very much for taking time to join this webinars. Some of you have been connected with us since early this morning because we had another meeting. It was a statutory meeting. It's very good. We will continue this collaboration with COFGMS and MANSA initiative to promote this platform. I would like to thank the interpreters for the work that they have done. They also were there from the beginning. And I'm sure that the quality, I mean, it's not question. It's high standard. It's high standard. We thank you very much for supporting us. It's actually the first time that we are testing 3 languages at the same time. I think it's very good sessions. Maybe now we are sitting between you and lunch for many of you. You deserve your lunch. You have the website of Making Finance Work for Africa that has appeared here. Our contact detail, you can really connect with us. We are an initiative hosted by the African Development Bank with the mandate to promote financial sector development. We support, we do non-lending operation. We support trade finance, I mean strategic pillar trade finance, long-term finance, which actually to unlock potential of resources that are available to finance the development agenda of the continent. We have a work team on banking and sustainability that also address issues that are related to climate change, on environment, and all this topic, the sustainability agenda. And we have another pillar that look after innovative finance, and with a strong focus on fintech development on the continent. It's quite broad. It's a partnership, so we have government partner, some African institutions, African Development Bank, of course, AFREXIMBANK, as I mentioned, but we also have like the AIBs and so on. So it's your platform. Do not hesitate to reach out to us. We will be very pleased to hear from you and provide feedback. Last but not the least, when you will disconnect from the platform, there is a short survey that will appear on the screen. Please take a few minutes to fill in the survey. That really allowed us to collect the necessary feedback that we can share with our I mean the presenter or the partner, and then also help us really to improve the qualities of our delivery, so that in the future we serve you as best. Thank you very much. Have a nice day for all of you, and we stay connected. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Rick. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.